remembering death part of the sunnah? The answer is yes. The authentic hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, أكثروا من ذكر هذه اللذات. Remember death frequently and make that a habit, because whenever you are in poverty, it would make life so happy and wide, because death is even worse. And whenever you're wealthy and in prosperity, it would tighten life, because you know that all of this prosperity is going to come to end and I'm going to die. Death reminds you of Allah Azza wa Jal, and it reminds you of what you are doing at the moment, whether it's halal or haram, and what would your fate be accordingly. So definitely it is part of the sunnah. We be punished if we died without paying off our debts. I have no money or assets. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, that each individual is hanged, meaning he's responsible for whatever debts he has. So he is considered to be accountable for whatever debt he has until it's cleared. And this is why whenever a deceased was put forward to the Prophet ﷺ to pray janazah or funeral prayer upon him, the first question the Prophet would ask would be, alayhi salatu wasalam, did he have any debts? Did he die leaving debts on him? If they said yes, the Prophet says, you pray upon your brother, I won't. And this is to reprimand people from doing this, that is, taking people's debts and not paying them off. And the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, the martyr, his sins are all forgiven except the debts, which shows you that major and minor sins are all forgiven by Allah for a martyr, with the exception of debts. However, if a person borrowed money with the intention to pay it off, but he did not have the means to do so, or he was unable to do so, and he died, we pray to Allah Azza wa Jal that he will not be included in the previously mentioned hadith, and that Allah the Almighty would pay off his debts with His grace and mercy. The threat is to those, or for those who are capable of paying off and don't, or for those who intend not to pay off. They willingly take people's wealth and money, intending not to pay them off. These are those who will be punished on the Day of Judgment. Ahmed says, am I obligated to pay off my father's debt if he enforces me to pay it on his behalf before or after he dies? What if it's interest-based debt? Now, financially speaking, you have no obligation towards your father's debts, big or small. You're obliged, if you're earning, to provide for your father, to provide for your mother, and to give them a decent life. If they need a house, they can afford it, you do that for them. If they need allowance, if they need food, if they need medical care, and they cannot afford it, you have to do that. If they are well off and they have the financial means to attain all of this, then it is not an obligation upon you. You don't have to do this. But if you do it out of your own free will, as a good gesture, as a payback for the so many things that they have given to you, that's being dutiful and it's good. But am I obliged to pay off their debts? The answer is no. Second question, if these debts are interest-based, so my father takes a mortgage on the house or buys things through financing it through interest-based loans from banks or financial institutions, am I obliged to pay them off if he forces me to do so? The answer is no. You must not do that, because you'd be collaborating with him in paying interest, which is a major sin in Islam. The only possibility is that if he took a loan out of ignorance and he's remorseful, he's regretful, and he's not happy with it, and he wants to pay it off and pledges not to do this again. In this case, yes, when you see that he's sincere, you may help him to pay off his debt, and Allah.